Hey, what's up, boys and girls? CheFPV here, Zero Ground FPV, Team B rotor, and 500 below, of course. So today we have on your screen my high-tech X2 AC multi-charger, and we have batteries from Tattoo. I just got my newest order in, and I've gotten 8 1550 75C racing editions, and I went ahead and snagged myself one R line to test. This is a 75C 1300. I wanted to test those just to see if there's really much difference between a standard 1300 75. But what I wanted to also do was talk about battery kind of health, resistance and such, and all of that, and how I kind of deal with my battery health. There is a lot out there. There are people out there that'll tell you you need to be checking resistance all the time and blah, 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 and this and that. There's people out there that say you need to make sure you have an OSD so you know or low voltage warnings and all that. I'll be honest, I'm lazy when it comes to lipo kind of health. When it comes to lipo safety, I'm not so much, but at the end of the day, it's all about your own kind of regimented routines and what you do, and your own kind of experience and knowledge about what's going on. Lipos are dangerous and all of that. That being said, never a major issue here. Practicing what I have for the last 5 years at least of using lipo batteries. So I'm going to talk about a couple things that I may or may not do myself. I do not condition my batteries. I don't cycle them. What I do is when I first run them the first few times, I go light on them. I don't heavy punch out. I just fly laps. I just kind of fly around, and that's how I break my batteries in. There's conjecture out there whether or not batteries need to be broken in these days or not, or whether they're broken in at the factories and all that. So again, it's kind of up to you to decide on how you're going to handle it and keep your batteries healthy. That being said, number one killers of batteries: over discharging, heavy punch outs when they're super low and you drop a cell really low, ignoring battery warnings, coming in, landing them way too late, like landing at anything less than 3.2 is really probably not that great. Definitely once you get below 3.2, you're getting into danger zones. But land at 3.5 at the heaviest at me. I like to land at 3.5, and then by the time I pick my quad up and unplug it and everything, it's already kind of bounced back up to about 3.8, 3.9. 3.6, 3.7. So that's my suggestion. The other thing is check your resistance. When you start noticing that a battery is dropping voltage really fast, the number one cause is a bad cell. Go check your resistance and you'll see why. Another big thing to note, when you're charging batteries, if you're charging batteries and you feel a battery start to get warm, there's a problem. A battery should not get warm and being charged normally at when I charge at 3.5 amps. You see this one's at 6.2, and that's because it was for a larger pack. It was for a 5200 size pack. And even at 5200 size pack, I barely charge over 1C. I charge at about 1.8C on my 1550s. 2.2C, 2.25, right in there. So that's what I would recommend as far as battery kind of life and health and safety. To show you guys what I do and what I did before race day. So I don't really worry about battery health until I notice an issue, or as soon as it's race day, I start looking the day before. I start looking at them and deciding which packs I'm going to run for which rounds. So in this situation, I had literally 8 batteries left, and I went through them and I decided to check them all for their resistance. And we'll show you this one. What I did, I checked the resistance, and then I wrote the cell resistance on the package there, or well, in this case, it's a TPU. And on the front side, I put what battery number it was for the race. So this was my best battery here, number 1. It looks like a 2, but I promise it's a 1. So this was the first battery I ran in yesterday's race. Actually, I'm sorry, this was the last battery I ran. This was my best pack, so this was for the final round. So I ran them in reverse order from worst pack to best. So after going through and checking the resistance on all of them, I labeled them which number they were. So we'll show you how to check that resistance on this charger. Not all chargers have this ability, but most should. And if you're going to buy a charger, it's a good idea to make this something you look for. So in this top menu, we're going to go out and we're going to go to battery resistance. It'll do a check. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. We'll go over here. Also, let me drop that amperage down just so I don't forget when we go to charge. All right. There we go. So this battery is 12, 5, 4, and 8, which yesterday or whenever I checked it on Friday, it was 6, 4, 4, 11. So we've already, killed this battery a little more just how we flew it. So that just goes to show you this cell here is definitely on its out. Anything above 13, 14-ish, I would start looking at moving out of your rotation. But this is actually, for me, overall, a decent rating for all that one. So we'll take that, and we're going to take it, and we're going to set it. That's a 15, this is the exact same pack, a 1550 75C Racing. We're going to go ahead and toss this brand new one I'm opening now, and we'll take a look at what a brand new cell reading looks like, just so you guys can see why it's important to do this. And I also do this with all my new packs. It will show you ahead of time an issue with a pack that you can then contact your vendor and let them know. Oddly enough, this one now came back read differently, which is interesting, but we will take this one. All right, so 6, 5, 4, 6. So that there is a brand new pack out the case. Not amazing. It's not ones, not twos. But let's take a look and see what the second reading says just to be sure. So yeah, looks like the number 1 cell isn't the best. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on after I charge it. Once I'll take a look at the reading again. But for now, that's just something to take a look at and keep your eyes on. Now let's take a look at just a completely bad pack, and I'll show you what that looks like. This pack here, basically under punch out, as soon as you throttle up and get above 60, this one here will drop to 12.5 volts roughly. Basically an entire cell falls out of it, and then the second cell falls out as you continue to punch. But let's see. We will stop that. This is going to be off the charts. Look at that. 18, 40, 17, and 52. So it's got 2 ridiculously bad cells in there, and then 2 that are still tossable. So that's how I recommend taking care of your lipos, or at least checking on the health of them and understanding where they're at. I definitely recommend before race day, popping all your batteries that you're going to use on the charger, figure out the best ones, line them up and get them ready. So when you're at the race, you just, pull this pack, pull that pack, and you're solid. So what I do with the really bad packs, not these ones, but the ones that are maybe all 15s and higher across the board, is those are my practice packs. Typically in practice, you don't really heavy throttle. You just kind of cruise the course and kind of learn it. So that's my tip for that is, hold on to those bad packs that, heavy punch outs are still not great. And you wouldn't trust in a full-on 2-3 minute race, but can use them for, cruising around, test flights, hovering, stuff like that. They're not, bad. This one is dangerously bad. This is one that it gets warm when you charge, and there's a reason. So there you go. Fly safe, fly smart, guys. Just fly.